Welcome to 2018. First, I must say that I am grateful to the Most High for allowing us to see another year. I'm grateful to all of you for your, for your support, for everything that you've done for us. Subscribing, taking a look at some videos. Those of you who have participated in other ways, in other things that we're connected to, we just want to tell you how much we appreciate you. All right, so as always, I want to just get to the point because I know what you're thinking. Why are we listening to this guy again? And I'm good with that. That's a great question. So what I would like to just offer very briefly is just, I'm sure you've considered how you're going to approach 2018. So I'd like to talk about that. I would like to just offer a couple of suggestions as to how we might be able to accomplish what we want to accomplish, but even more importantly, have a peaceful, have an enjoyable journey. I'm not saying there will not come some challenges and some frustrations. I'm just simply saying there's no reason for us to add to what life is going to do to us anyway. All right, so here's all I want to offer. Resolve, commit, move forward, okay? Resolve, commit, move forward. That's it. All right, resolve. Unfortunately, we can continue to try and move forward in life without resolving things first. A lot of times we will want to take on the world, want to take on new companies, we want to take on new ministry, we want to tackle relationships, we want to minister or advise other people, but never really resolving or dealing with things within ourselves, okay? So the first thing is resolve. What are the things that we need to resolve in our lives? When something is left unresolved, it means it's left unfinished, which means it's an open account. Okay, so we have entirely too many open accounts left in our lives, and it's taxing on us, and it's taking away from what we could be doing moving forward. It's like savings, okay? Many of us have gotten into a groove of wanting to save. Well, it's difficult to save when we're constantly shoveling out money. We're constantly putting out money for this, putting out money for that, paying on stuff. It's hard to save. It's hard to build. It's hard to increase our surplus when we're constantly being taxed in other areas. Well, that same thing applies emotionally, intellectually, spiritually, as it relates to the relationships that we have, as it relates to the jobs where we are. All of these things, we need to resolve some stuff before we decide that we want to move forward. So the obvious question is, how do we do that, right? What's the practical component to a statement like that? Well, here's the thing. Some people need to be forgiven for what they've done, for the things they've done to us. Or some people legitimately need to be forgiven. And it's not necessarily because, or for them, it's for you. It's for us. There are some people we need to just forgive that debt and let ourselves move on. We've held things against people for entirely too long. We've held things against ourselves for entirely too long. I get it. Those mistakes were made. That's fine. Allow yourself to heal from that stuff. Tell yourself that you are forgiven and get on with your life. Close those accounts. Here's the thing. I deal with people, and I have the privilege of being able to just sit and talk with people who have been through some horrible things. Absolutely horrible things that I couldn't even imagine. But I have to say, in order for you to live, you have to let those things die. Whatever you have to do. If you have to go and talk to the person that did that to you and tell them how you feel, go ahead and do it and get it over with. If you have to just simply lift your hands and say, Lord, I can't handle this stuff anymore. Take it away from me. Whatever you need to do to resolve those issues, resolve them so that you can get on with your life. That's the only way this works, because 17 was a problem. Because we took some things from 16 into 17. I don't want us to make any of us, and I say us because I'm guilty of some of the same things. We cannot take things from 17 into 18 and be successful and have any peace at all, because all of these things are draining energy from us, valuable energy that we could be using on some other stuff. So if your victory is of any value to you, if your life or your quality of life is of any value to you, I am suggesting that before you make another step, figure out what the open accounts are in your life. I'm saying that wrong. We must all figure out what the open accounts are in our lives, close those accounts, and move on with our lives. That's the only thing that will aid in us getting where we need to go. Okay, now some people will say, well, Riley, you don't know what I've been through. You're absolutely right. On the same token, you don't know what I've been through. And I can tell you with overwhelming certainty that moving on can be a very difficult thing. Closing accounts can be a very difficult thing. I'm not pretending that it will be easy. I'm just simply saying that it is a necessary step. Matter of fact, it's a non-negotiable, because it's an enemy to making progress in our lives. That's the first suggestion. Second suggestion, commit. That's a big word. Commit. We must all commit to our new lives. We must commit to wherever it is that we say we are going. If we say we want to be better at work, we want to be better in ministry, we want to be better at home, we want to be better husbands, better fathers, better mothers, better teachers, whatever it is that we're claiming we want to be better at, then we have to commit to the idea, or we have to commit to the new reality. A lot of us have one foot in and one foot out. We've always had one foot in, one foot out. What if this don't work? I need something else to fall back on. What if this doesn't work out? I need this. None of that has anything to do with your commitment. That's the reason it's called commitment, because it's not a, well, let me try this and see if it works. Let me try being better. Let me try showing up on time. Why should I show up at a meeting on time when the rest of these people don't do it? Why should I put all of my energy into something when the rest of them don't do it? This is not about them being better. This is about us being better. Because one of the things that we have to remember about being connected in this sort of human experience is that if you want the ice to melt, you have to bring the fire. If you want the house to be clean, sometimes you have to be the one to bring the broom, to bring the bleach, to bring whatever it is that's required for this house to be clean. We must take personal responsibility in what we say we want. In other words, we have to stop whining and crying that other people don't pay us what we want them to pay us. We have to stop getting all upset about not making the money that we want to make, and we need to go out and start making the money that we want to make. We have to stop making it everyone else's responsibility for us to get where we say we believe God is taking us. It's time for us to stand up and commit to the new life that we say we want. There again, forgive my tone. This is just a suggestion. The first thing is resolve. Close those accounts, y'all. They've been open for entirely too long. Close them and move on. Second thing, commit. Here's the sidebar to commitment. It's hard to commit to something that you don't really believe or really know is possible. So we might need to, that might be an open account that we might need to resolve. We might need to resolve whether or not we know or even or are even deemed worthy to be better than what we have been. Now, I'm not saying that's anybody's problem. I just decided to throw that in there because I know every now and then that might be an issue. It's hard to be all into something that you don't know, or that you don't fully believe that you can actually accomplish. That can be a problem for some people. Okay, last thing. This one is tricky because sometimes it can it requires a whole lot to do. First, resolve. Then we commit, and then we move forward. All right, moving forward is tricky because motion is required, which means I can't sit on my butt. I can't sit around and have conversations with people about what I'm going to do. I have to actually do what I'm going to do. Now, there's nothing wrong with bouncing ideas off of each other. There's nothing wrong with sort of saying things out loud because you need to hear it, because once everything makes sense mentally, but when it hits the real world, that's when it has to adhere to certain rules in reality. So there's nothing wrong with saying it. I'm just simply saying that a lot of us have been sitting around discussing what we're going to do or what we'd like to do, or we want to let everybody know how much we've studied. So all we want to do is just talk about what we've studied. We want to let people know how smarter we've become. So we want to just sort of talk about our intellect. We've made some mistakes in businesses and in ministries and all of these things before. But we just want to sit and discuss. I'm going to do better this time. I'm going to save better. I'm going to be a better steward of what I have. I'm going to be a better manager of my time. I'm going to do it, but all we're doing is talking. We got to move forward, okay? The only way we get where we're going is that we move in that direction. That's the bottom line. A lot of things that we talk about sound very, they sound like major tasks, and they sound so wonderful and they sound so profound, but nothing that we say from this point on has any value if we're not moving in that direction. That's just the way it is. Again, these are suggestions. All of y'all are grown. Do whatever you like. We're just talking. I want you to make it. It's very important to me that you make it. As we move forward during the year, we're gonna have a lot of different things happen, but we're gonna do more doing this year than we are talking. That is the point. We resolve. We close those accounts. Close them as quickly as possible, because as long as those accounts are open, they are gathering, they are gaining interest. And the more interest the accounts gain or increase, all right, the more energy it takes and the more resources that it takes from us. Close the account. If it is in fact a physical debt that's been looming in your life, close it. If it's relational stuff, close it. If it's an internal debt, meaning you've done something wrong and it's still bothering you because you haven't taken the steps to close that account, whatever's necessary, close it. Secondly, commit. Listen, nothing changes until you commit to it. Your vision, your dream, your ambition, your intention does not come to pass without your commitment. Period. It ain't on nobody else. From this point on, it ain't on nobody else. If what you say you can accomplish does not come to pass and you're not committed to the idea, or you're not committed to that new reality, it just ain't nobody's fault but yours. All right, and lastly, move forward. Get on with it. You've been planning. You've been talking, you've been praying, all right? You've gone to conferences, people have prophesied, you've done all of that stuff. Go ahead and move forward. I'm scared, Riley. I don't care. Get up and move on. Otherwise, we will be in December of 2018 having to have the same conversation. Here's the thing. Here's something that I would like to add. small bites. Just commit to small bites. Resolve small bites. That's it. Move forward in small bites. Do what you can handle. Do not get overwhelmed because you want to take on everything immediately, right? Do what you can digest. Take the smallest account, take the smallest open account, close it. Move on to the next one, close it. Move on to the next one, close it. Commit in small bites. What can you do right now that you know you can commit to? Listen, small victories are a big deal. We all need small victories, all right? Because feeling defeated is what keeps us from moving forward. So we need those small victories. Just commit to the small amount that you can digest and build on that. Move forward. Just do what you know you can do. Digest that and then move on to the next thing. And here's my last suggestion, and then we're gonna be done. My suggestion is simply this. Break this year down into quarters. Like, what do you want to accomplish in the first quarter? Just start with the first quarter. What do you want to accomplish between now and March? What do you want to do? All right. What do you think you need to do? If this first quarter is just about closing those accounts, then close them. Take this first quarter, work and close those accounts so that you can move on. Okay? That conversation, that seasonal conversation, that it's my season to do this and it's my season to do that. I can't stand that language. It's always your season. You just have to figure out which one you're in. All right, be successful in that season so that the next one is automatic. In other words, I can't get up in God's face about not receiving a harvest if I ain't planted nothing yet. It's really that simple. Figure out where you are, which season that you are in. All right, be successful there so that we can successfully move into the next season. Okay, that's it. That's all we got, y'all. Resolve, commit, move forward. That's all we got. Okay, so here's the last thing. This coming Monday, I believe that's January 8th, we're asking that we all come together and pray. I believe when we did it before, some things happened for some people because of the shared energies and the shared encouragement and the shared love and the shared desires. I'm a firm believer that when we all want the same thing, whatever it is that we're desiring, that's what happens. Okay, so I'm asking on Monday, January 8th at 12 noon. So here's what I'm asking. Whatever time it is for you related to 12 noon here in Nashville, for instance, if it's 12 noon here, it might be 2 p.m. for you. It might be 10 a.m. Whatever the equivalent is. And the reason I'm saying that is because I want us all to be in sync. I want us all to be doing it at the same time. I want you to make it, and I'm hoping that you want the same thing for me. So Monday, this coming Monday, January 8th at 12 noon or whatever the equivalent is for you of the same time, wherever you happen to be. I want us all praying together. I want us to pray for ourselves and I want us to pray for one another. Okay. But I need us all to be serious about this, because if we really don't believe, or if we're really not sure, or whatever the case is, if we can't be all in, I would just prefer we don't get involved. So anybody that we ask to do this with us, we're going to ask that, we recruit people who are serious about us all making it. All right, that's it. That's all I got. Thank you for your time. Thank you for your prayers. Thank you for the love. Thank you for the support. I'm looking forward to 2018 to see what God has in store for all of us. And as always, hey, I'll see you at the finish line.